So thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone here tonight for joining us to celebrate two extraordinary people who are leading the way to improving the health and wellness of New Yorkers and the neighborhoods where we live and work. Breaking Ground is privileged to be honoring Michael Dowling and Vicki Bean. I have such gratitude to you both for spending this evening with us. Thank you. So this summer was one of anticipation, hope, and anxiety. My oldest, Maddie, went off to college, and I had all the typical parent thoughts. Did I do enough right over the last 18 years? Is she going to forget me? What happens in an emergency exactly? I'm so proud of her and happy for her. I have more me time, except that I miss her. No one prepares you for the transition from mama to mommy to mom. But also right now, I'm enjoying her being back home for the first time. We are lucky. We have the refuge that is family and home. Every morning, I ride the subway and walk the streets to work. I see homeless men and women bedded down in cardboard boxes, in ragged sleeping bags, under layers of blankets with their belongings held close. Even 1 block away from our offices, the same scene plays out. From someone sleeping over a warm subway grate to seeing up close the ravages of the opioid crisis. Sometimes I can focus, remind myself that Breaking Ground is out there, more than 150 of us on the streets of Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan every day and night to bring our homeless neighbors inside. But sometimes I have trouble focusing. Sometimes I feel sad and I feel frustrated because I know that many of the people I see on my way to work will not be inside tonight. They'll sleep in places they shouldn't be sleeping, lonely and dangerous places. On the night of October 4th, 4 men who didn't come inside were murdered while they slept, and another was left critically injured. 5 men brutally attacked, men with family and friends. They were sons, brothers, and fathers. We wish a speedy and full recovery for David Hernandez, and we hold the memory of Anthony Mason, Nazario Vasquez Villaje, our neighbor who has not yet been identified, and 83-year-old Chun Kwok, 4 New Yorkers in our hearts. Everyone deserves a home, and sometimes that home will be the difference between life and death. We all know that housing, a home, paired with the right on-site services can make the life-changing difference for people who are homeless, whether they're struggling with mental illness, substance use, or poverty. This is supportive housing. I joined the organization in 1999 to open what was then our second permanent residence, the Prince George in Manhattan. Just last month, we broke ground on what will be our 21st permanent residence, Betanzas Senior Housing in the Bronx. Breaking Ground is the largest developer of supportive housing in the city. We're home for thousands who were once the homeless I just spoke about. We're also home for thousands who survive on very low incomes and might otherwise fall into homelessness but for Breaking Ground. We bring case management, employment services, psychiatric care, and primary care into our buildings so that tenants have everything they need to rebuild their lives. We add things such as cooking classes, financial literacy, supportive peer groups, arts programming, yoga, meditation, to improve the health and wellness of our tenants. Along with street outreach, we provide transitional housing, known as safe havens, that offer a secure place to sleep while we work with each person towards finding a permanent home. And at our drop-in center, the only one in all of Queens, street homeless New Yorkers can come in from the elements, get a healthy meal, meet with a case manager, and access medical and psychiatric services. All of this goes hand in hand to help people overcome the trauma of homelessness. The connection between housing and health is undeniable. We consider providing housing to be a medical intervention. When we give someone who's been living on the street keys to their own home, their struggle and anxiety disappear for a moment, and a sort of lightness comes over their face. To be sure, it doesn't mean that all of the person's challenges end there, but supportive housing allows for the time and space to work on the things that led to homelessness. In just a moment, you'll meet a tenant of our Boston Road residence in the Bronx, Daniel Broom, whose health and wellness have improved dramatically through supportive housing. Mr. Broom is someone who a careless society could have abandoned to addiction and homelessness. But through his story, you will see that with the right supports in place, housing really does save lives. Thank you.